I never felt it in my feet, I never felt it in my soul. And I heard it in the air and now it's in my rock and roll. If you wanna know the secret, you got to promise not to tell. If you wanna get to heaven, you gotta raise a little hell. I never thought it'd be so easy, never thought it'd be so fun. But I heard it in the air and now I got it all alone. If you wanna see an angel, you gotta find it where it fell. If you wanna get to heaven, you gotta raise a little hell. If you wanna get to heaven, if you wanna get to heaven, if you wanna get to heaven, if you wanna get to heaven. Hey, how you doing out there, guitar heroes? All right, we love the Ozark Mountain Daredevils. If you want to get to heaven, 1973. A lot of harmonica in this song. It's not me playing it. Other than that, we've got about a four chord song here, so not too bad. Now the challenge here is, generally speaking, I think you're probably going to want to do bar chords. But you know, it's possible to do it with open chords. So let's take a look at the details. So at the beginning, this is kind of weird, but there's this, I'm playing a C bar chord at the 8th fret. All right, so when we use our A string and our E string to kind of determine where we're at, right? So on the E string, we know that the 5th fret's A, right? G is in the 3rd, A, and then we know that if we go to 7, it's B. Well, I go one more, and I'm at C, and I'm at that 8th fret. So I'm going to take my E form, bar chord, and that's what I'm gonna hang on right at the beginning. It's got the rhythm is a little bit interesting because there's a bass here and and then there's harmonica. But basically you're kind of hanging on this C bar chord down here. I think it sounds better by pulling up on it than it does down. Down's a little bit. Then I want to go faster. And I'm releasing the pressure to kind of get a little bit of, so it's not ringing out. So that's what we do at the beginning. It's C bar chord. And without it ringing out, then otherwise it's going to sound like this, which isn't horrible. But when you're up here, it's a little tough to keep it ringing out. So it actually kind of works in your favor. Okay, now when we get into the song, when it starts, I'm going to go down to a C bar chord. Well, that's what I did. I mean, you can go to a regular C if you want. But the reason I stick with bar chords is because I'm going to be doing an F right away. And that makes it easier for me to do F, G, and C. And you've probably seen this in some of my other songs. And then we got a B flat in there too. So that's almost impossible to do a B flat with an open chord and be able to do it with any speed. And there, of course, we're going to use the A form. So when we start with the vocals right after that little harmonica solo, I'm on the C bar chord. I never read it in a book, I never saw it in a show, and I heard it in the alley on a weird radio. If you want to drink of water. Now I go a G bar chord. See, I was in this A form, right? A form, C. I put down the other 2 fingers, and now I have a E form bar chord. Got my G. You want a drink of water? F. You've got to get it from back to C. And you can see that the strumming is pretty much this continuing with this up thing. Rather than squeezing, releasing again, and that's what keeps it from ringing out, and that's what gives you that nice rhythm. Okay, then we have one more line, and then we get the B flat in there. So if you want to get to heaven, G again, F, you've got to raise. Now I got a bar chord with the A form, B flat, and I slide up to C. You gotta raise a little head. So this is a good opportunity to work on your bar chords. If you're struggling with bar chords, you will. Everybody struggles with bar chords. It just takes a while, and it takes practice and practice and practice. So if you don't get it right away and then you give up, that's why you're not going to be able to get it. You got to practice it, push your way through it, and you'll get there. You'll get there. The second verse is exactly the same with slightly different words. Okay, same thing. We're going to hang on that C. I never fell on my feet, I never felt my soul. Over any alley in a house knocking road. If you want to know a secret, G, F, you got a promise not to tell. If you want to get to heaven, G, F, you gotta B flat, raise a little hell. And then right at the end here, they do a quick G. And then what happens is the harmonica comes in, and there's, a measure or two, or maybe more, maybe like four measures of harmonica. And I think that's pretty much all that there's. Pretty much. No, I'm sorry. There's a harmonica, a few measures of a harmonica, and then there's a lead guitar that's in there. And so in this case, unless you got somebody playing that part for you, then we're just going to, after we do we're going to go right back into that strumming that C chord. And this is exactly the same thing. So 3 verses, exactly the same. There really isn't any chorus. And then when we get done with this one, and the last line, of course, is always, if you want to get to heaven, G, F, you gotta B flat, raise a little, back to C, heaven. And now there's that intro riff starts again with the harmonica and that, and there might even be a electric guitar solo there too. Now I can't remember if there's right there. But then right after that, you're back into the C, doing this 4 times. If you wanna get to heaven, if you wanna get to heaven, if you wanna get to heaven. And then when we're done with that, there's this little riff that's pretty easy. We're already here in the bar chord, and this is one of the reasons that makes it easier, because the notes that we're going to play are here. So if you were in the C up here, it's a slightly different spot. Here I'm already there. My fingers are kind of lined up. So the little riff is I'm on the G string on the 5th fret, and then I go down to the 3rd, and then jump over 1 string. So G5, G3, and then I jump over to D, 5, 1, 3, and then over to A on the 3rd. And it's a nice little riff to learn. And take my word for it, is after you play enough songs, you start seeing similarities and where these things are and what kind of works with what. And this is just a good one. Okay, so one more time, we're on the G string, G5, G3, D5, D1, D3, D1, A, and that's it. It's a great little kind of a rock and roll song here from the Ozark Mountain Daredevils, which are typically pretty mellow guys, but this is a great song. So that's pretty much it. I'm tuned in standard this time. A little unusual. If it's hard to sing for me, then I typically tune down a half a step, but I was able to sing this one okay. So there you go. If you want to get to heaven, Ozark Mountain Daredevils, 1973. take it easy. Hope you got something out of this lesson. See you next time, and keep on strumming out there.